Moving on to the men. First, I will announce the MVPs for the women, and then the men. So as an English teacher, any breach of grammar I see is immediately interpreted as a direct personal affront to me. However, I had to make an exception this year as we have not one, not two, but three most valuable players on the women's team. Value for our team comes not just from athletic achievement, but from coaching other athletes, helping to set up practices, encouraging others, etc. Basically, improving overall life as a PCS track and field athlete. Mary Robinson is such an athlete. From taking initiative as a captain to get warm-ups going, to helping her teammates get to districts, from ordering equipment for our team to breaking school records, Mary is a both-and player on and off the track. Every year she has found a way to add value to our team and thus our school. She does this by being coachable and flexible to what the team needs. She helped lead our school onto district success in the 4x100 and 4x400 relays, even after a less than joyous finish in her triple jump, her main event this year. The disappointment of a poor performance would have snuffed out the drive in a lesser athlete, but that's not Mary. The character she has shown throughout her years on this team and the woman she has become since signing up as a 7th grader should serve as an example for our whole team as well as our school. Mary, smile because your PCS track career is a light for future generations of athletes and for me. Your coaches and I are blessed to have been a part of your journey. Congratulations.
Amen.
Next, we have another athlete who can be considered a both-and player, one that is both a great human being and a competitor. This athlete went from their middle school career as a thrower who was just getting the hang of how to huck a shot or spin a disc to becoming a feared competitor at both small school and large school meets. If you took her personal best, she would have placed alongside athletes from CB West, Quakertown, or Cheltenham at districts. But even with her athletic successes, Katie Tull's coaches and I all agree her value to this team comes not from what she has gained from us, but what she has put back into the program. When I was pouring concrete for the shot put pad, Katie was ankle deep in the cement alongside with me. When the discus poles went in, Katie stayed all day to work on them along with our other athletes. We just heard about the potential some of our middle schooler throwers have as they mature. A lot of that potential was crafted and molded by Katie as she coached them and worked on her own event. She went from earning 4th in shot put her first year at districts as a freshman to earning 3rd as a sophomore, 2nd in a battle with a rival her junior year, and with a mighty 2-foot improvement, district champion over that same rival in this her senior year.
Yeah, Katie!
After 4 years of hard work, she broke a 25-year-old school record in the event, and she's earned the right to be the 2nd athlete in Plumstead history to compete at the state championship as the 22nd best shot putter in the state.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Katie, for your leadership, skill, and hard work, you've earned the title Most Valuable. Congratulations. Our last women's MVP is also a thrower, and one that has already earned fame as a track athlete at PCS. Erin Haynes is a fierce competitor and also investor in our program. Coming off her district win in discus last year, Erin could have gone off and become an athlete only interested in her own success and improvement. Instead, she invested time and knowledge in the middle school athletes and in creating our throwing facilities. Along with Katie, Erin was pouring concrete all morning with me in the fall as we physically built something that would add to our school. At practice, she looked to build on our school's athletic pedigree by defending her discus title at the final meet. Over the season, she earned win after win, some of which against Penridge, North Penn, and other AAA schools. Erin isn't just a good small school thrower, she is a good thrower. In fact, she's the 25th best disc thrower in the state. States this weekend in Shippensburg. Aaron, congratulations on your achievement, and thank you for adding value to our team. On the men's end, we have an athlete who tried track for the first time last year, and he seems to have become addicted to it when one takes into account his success compared to last year. Drew Grow was a competitor last year, but he failed to reach finals in both of his events at districts last year, the 100 and the 200. This year, with renewed vigor though, he not only reached finals in the 100 and 200, but he earned a 4th place finish in both. He qualified for districts in long jump. He helped his 4x100 meter team qualify and break the school record several times this year. He broke the 100, 200, and 4x200 records, and he narrowly missed the MVP of the ACSI meet by a few points. Drew's excellence on the track, his hard work, and his drive to achieve after getting a taste of success last year have earned him the right to be called the men's MVP for this year, so congrats, Drew. On to the most improved athletes. Deciding on who should receive this award was a great difficulty for Coach Mancini and I, as so many athletes improved this season. However, when one took into account the mental and emotional improvement of athletes alongside the physical and coordination improvements, Nikki Heemstra clearly deserved to be named this season's most improved player.
Woohoo! Yeah, Nikki!
Track club in the past. However, she came into the season simply expecting to participate in the 100-meter hurdles, not compete. At first, Nikki ran 22 or 23 seconds in the event. Her fear of being too slow to compete was coming true. As the season progressed, though, she crafted her technique and very quietly began to peel off milliseconds from her time, and then seconds. And before any of us could comprehend how good Nikki had become, she qualified for districts with a time of 19.59 in the 100-meter hurdles. She surprised even herself and finished the season as the 6th best hurdler in our district and a finalist in the league as a freshman, or freshwoman. Nikki, your coaches and I are so proud of your success you've earned this season and the training you've put in to go from good to great. Your ability to humbly and quietly improve your times and your willpower deserve recognition and emulation. Congratulations on being this year's most improved player.
I more want him to hear what he says. He doesn't. And I'm all shaky from coffee.
On the men's side, the award for most improved was earned over the course of 6 years, as this athlete matured in event selection, marks, and even physical maturity. This athlete began as a mile runner who was simply happy to not come in last at his first competition. As an 8th grader, he thought he tried his hand at shot put, an event he earned 29th place in at the ACSI meet that year. He threw 19 feet. He also tried long jump, an event he jumped 11 feet in. Then he continued shot in high school and delved back into long jump as a senior. As he got thick and began lifting, he added some sprints to his repertoire too. Today, Josiah Provan finishes his high school track and field career with respectable marks in the 100, the 4x100, the 4x400, discus, javelin, shot put, long jump, triple jump, and the 300 hurdles.
Woo!
Prior to this season, Josiah never qualified for districts in a single event. This year he qualified in 3 and would have qualified in 5 had we held more meets. He went from a 19-foot shot putter as an 8th grader to a 41-foot shot putter by his senior year, and from an 11-foot long jumper to an 18-foot jumper. He holds school records in shot put and has grown from being a student of the throws to being a teacher for the middle schoolers. And at the beginning of all the success, remember, he was just a little bubby. I was happy he didn't come last in the line. Josiah, your coaches are very proud of your success, and we hope you are too. Your improvement is a model for all of us to follow. Congratulations. When deciding on who to give the Coaches Award to, Coach Mancini and I discussed giving the award to students who encapsulate qualities we want our athletes to mimic. We always wanted to celebrate athletes who have been a benefit to the team in ways beyond coaching or points at meets. These athletes must be competitors, but also men willing to step into new roles to help our team. They must also be hard workers who would never give less than their absolute best. Therefore, we can think of no better athlete to receive this award than Matthew Bortolotti. Since his 8th grade year, Matt has competed in the 400, the most difficult sprint race in track. You must be able to run at a near maximum speed for almost an entire minute, a pace where your body will try to impede you from running. Anyone who has ever run it will tell you there is a moment where you would rather die than finish, because you are sure you will die anyway after you cross the finish line. Matt has run this race since 8th grade, where he ran 1 minute and 7 seconds. Today he finishes with a 57-second 400 meter. 10 seconds of growth is unbelievable in a sprint, and Mibis worked to achieve this even though this wasn't his favorite event. He also was a utility man in relays and has competed in every relay from the 4x1 to the 4x8 even. He's put the team first many times and believed that with training he'd someday break 1 minute in the 400, a goal he smashed many times over. He also made it to districts this year in the 4x1 and holds a school record in that event now. Excellent work, Matt. For the last award, I'd like to highlight a young man who came in this year never having done track or even contemplating doing it at his old school. He finishes this single year of track with a 4th place finish in high jump at districts, a school record in discus, and a record in the 4x200 meter relay. To say Josh Perry had a noteworthy single season of high school track would be an understatement. Josh, when I met you, I immediately thought you'd be able to simply grip and rip the discus. I had no idea you'd become a district qualifier in 3 events, including the 100-meter dash. Your diligence with learning high jump and training on your own, even with our school not being able to provide high jump facilities, was impressive. We are sad the team only gets you for a single year, but as you move on to Covenant to compete on their track team now, we know you will set many records there and grow into a mighty athlete for them, so congratulations.
Yay, Josh! Woo-hoo!
Clearly, we had an excellent season that was both metaphorically and literally record-breaking. However, we would not have had the success we did without the work of several people. First, I'd like to thank my coaching staff. Coach Groh, I was so happy to be able to have you this season and see how God brought you back to a sport from your high school days. Your work with middle school, the sprinters, and especially the hurdlers was instrumental in our success. Your constant, bubbly enthusiasm and banter also kept spirits high when we need the energy. I'm so thankful for you for rushing here daily from work to help us. Thank you.
Amen, Coachman!
Coach Ogden helped us too, even though he's not here. I'd like you all to know, though, that he was very helpful with the jumps, the hurdles, and other nerdy events that require math. He brought an expertise to our team in events of which I had little knowledge and crafted a great group of hurdle gangsters that will surely go on to further success in the coming seasons. It was a delight to see him interact with students as a coach and to have students see his vast knowledge on hurdling. Coach Ogden, thank you so much. And like I said, he's not here. He actually helped me edit the speech and he crossed that entire part out, either out of humility or embarrassment. So please embarrass him tomorrow by talking to him about it. And last but not least, Coach Mancini, from bagels before meets and coffee runs to pump us full of caffeine before a long day of competition, from almost indecipherable hype text messages to tireless tweaking and correction in the jumps, from constant encouragement and advice during the twists and turns of the season, to your joyful laughter on the bus. For all those moments and more, I thank you. Without this woman, nothing we did this year would have been possible. She's the most humble person I know, so she's probably writhing in pain while I heap the attention upon her. But that's exactly why she deserves our gratitude, so thank you. The supporting cast of the season was also vast. The programs took times at almost every meet and worked at our home meet. Mrs. Jacobs made us some bomb cookies.
Yeah.
Frank Rouse donated his time and resources to basically construct the shot area himself.
Yeah.
Steve Haynes, Barry Hugh, and Wayne Toll donated resources and time to frame out and purchase cement for our shot and discus areas too. Josiah Provan created an Eagle Scout project around putting up our discus cage.
Yeah.
Ethan Gilbert more than once volunteered to coach at a middle school meet when the other coaches and I couldn't make it, so let's thank him. And Mr. Z supported us in our dream to hold a meet at Plumstead for the first time, and that dream became a reality.
Yeah. Woo-hoo!
So thank you all very, very much. Even though there were only a few people mentioned, every athlete up here can rest assured they built into this team, our traditions, and our facilities. Looking back at the season, I think that is my favorite part of it. We all took something and improved it. For some of these athletes, that process began in 2013, when so much of this year and team was barely even a glimmer of hope. Imagine playing baseball without a diamond, or soccer without a field. That's what these athletes did. As if that wasn't enough, then they built the fields that they needed. They imbibed the team, ate at the table served by wiser, more knowledgeable athletes, and now have begun to serve others. The growth of especially seniors from awkward middle school niños just looking for a way to release their wiggles into the college level athletes before you is something I'm very proud of, and I hope they are too. While it isn't an award that can hang on our walls, the improvement of the places we call work, play, home, family, or whatever, that improvement is the real win and the real reward. So team, you can ask yourselves the question, did you improve the places you were in? We think you can smile and respond confidently. I found a team with nothing and left it with everything. And as always, please remember, pain heals, chicks dig scars, and glory lasts forever, so thank you.